What's up? Coach Dan Blewett here, and today's video is actually from a viewer comment, so thank you, Steven, for asking, Dan, what do you do when a pitcher has a really bad pregame bullpen, or maybe they're really nervous, or in general, they just don't look very good? So that's a good question, and my answer to this and lots of other things are often the same, which is the following. Don't look into it too much. Mental toughness is key. Suck it up and go compete. So let me backtrack. So number one, when you have a less than stellar pregame bullpen, and believe me, I've had tons of them throughout my pitching career, you can't psych yourself out and think, oh, I had a bad bullpen, I'm going to have a bad game. Now, as a coach, obviously you're trying to hedge your bets and be prepared, so if a kid looks terrible in the pen, maybe get a kid ready a little faster because, hey, little Johnny's not doing very well today or looks kind of terrible. But I don't know that I've seen huge correlations between the pregame bullpen and in-game performance. Now, establishing a excellent pregame routine with your pitchers is paramount. That's really, really important. Every day, they should have a set routine that they fine-tune and improve over time, because routine gives you structure. It helps isolate variables and prevent all those extraneous variables that might make your performance poor. So it's like, oh, I ran a ton extra in pregame today, or I threw 30 pitches in pregame instead of 50, or my pregame bullpen was all out of the windup instead of half and half, wind up and stretch. You don't want to do different things every time. You want to do the same thing every time and slightly improve it over time so it becomes your routine. But again, you want to make sure that the only variable is the team, or I don't know, little personal factors. You don't want to say, maybe I pitched crappy today because I threw 60 pitches in the pen versus 40, my normal amount, or whatever it is. So again, the pregame routine helps to control extra variables and keep everything as similar as we can. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, if you just have a bad pregame bullpen, the goal is to remember that you didn't forget how to pitch just because you had a bad 20 pitches in the bullpen. And you have to be mentally tough when you go out between the lines and just say, look, I had a bad pregame, but that was warm-ups. Now I get 8 more warm-ups out here on the field, number one. Number two, it's go time. Let's do this. Let's get my adrenaline going. Let's compete. Let's have some fun. And remember that I didn't forget how to pitch. So from the player point of view, you just need to not look into it if you have a bad pregame bullpen. Again, I've thrown 10 of the worst curveballs ever, then jogged out into the game. I've had times where I could not get my fastball down to save my life in the bullpen, jog out between the lines, pitch fine. I've had times where I'm just dotting the ball in the bullpen, then I go out there and I can't throw a strike. I don't know, there's always been great correlation between the two, and I know a lot of my teammates from the past felt a similar way. So again, you can't just freak out about it, and when you freak out about it, it becomes the old self-fulfilling prophecy where now, because you think you're going to have a bad game, you do. So make sure you don't do it that way. And again, I think just going back to your own mental toughness and saying, I didn't forget how to pitch, this crappy pregame bullpen today does not define me, I'm going to go out there and compete and have a great day anyway, that's the attitude you need to have. And so as a coach, if you can help foster that mindset, I think that's the thing to do. Now, if you need to get someone else, just, hey, on the back burner, like, hey, just so you know, I might need to send you down to the pen. If he starts to get into trouble, I might go do a little faster because I'm a little worried about John. That's fine. As a coach, hedge your bets, whatever it is. If you feel like you need to have a safety net, then do it. But again, I think as a coach, your job is to foster that attitude that your pregame bullpen, if it was bad, doesn't matter, doesn't define you, doesn't change the fact that you're going to go out there and have a great day on the mound. You didn't forget how to pitch. You're still a stud. Go out there and shove it. As a pitcher, that same mindset is your own to own. So no matter how your pregame bullpen is, go out there prepared to dominate the other team, rain or shine, good mound, crappy mound, high mound, low mound, good umpire, bad umpire, good pregame, bad pregame. It doesn't matter. You're going to go out there and dominate no matter what, okay? So hopefully that was helpful. Thanks again for the question. Be sure to subscribe. Check out the links to both of my books. They're in the description below, all my online courses. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you here in the next video.